we're at the airport. We're gonna go somewhere fun. We've been planning this for a while and we're really excited. You get to come with us. But first, let's go to the airport lounge. If you're wondering why we're at an airport lounge, it's because we have priority pass that we got free from our credit card. It's a pretty awesome benefit of having that credit card. We also got TSA pre-check because we have global entry, which we also got free from the credit card. It's the Venture X from Capital One, and so far it's pretty good.
The way this lounge works is you get a couple $15 vouchers for food at their partnered restaurant. I chose the chicken quesadilla. Let's see how it is. Oh. Very cheesy.
And I got the pulled pork sandwich. Oh yeah. The barbecue sauce is savory, which I'm a fan of, and it's not too saucy, so it's not drippy. It's not dry. Very good.
We're finished at the lounge and we're heading to our gate. We're heading to Europe. Let's see where we're going.
We made it to the gate and we're getting ready to board. We're gonna end up in Slovenia. We're so excited.
I'm excited for Game of Thrones filming sites and old castles.
What are you most nervous about?
Finding parking near big cities.
Hello.
Hi. Please make sure each person
Thank you.
What are you most excited for, Karen?
Wine tasting and the food.
Yeah, we got plenty of those.
Yeah.
What are you most worried about?
Our connection in Paris. It's very short.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Demandez votre valise cachée dans les coffres. Celles des accessoires et les bagages techniques pour moi doivent être placés sous le siège de mon fils. Les outils de secours doivent rester dégagés. Il est interdit de fumer et la cigarette électronique n'est pas autorisée. Elle doit être éteinte et conservée sur vous. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard Air France. We will be with you on this Boeing 777 until we reach Paris.
We're Karen and Jeremy, an average couple with average jobs and limited vacation time. When we take trips, we have 1 or 2 weeks, 3 if we're lucky, and we want to see and do as much as possible when we travel. Join us as we maximize our vacation time on Mapping It.
Well, even with a tight connection and a late arrival, we made it to our terminal for our next connecting flight.
We had to budge in the security line and run to catch a bus to get to this terminal, but I'm glad we made it.
And when we got here, the gate wasn't even assigned.
They finally announced our gate, so let's go to our plane. Let's go. We just got our rental car. We picked it up from Hertz, and something that people don't often talk about, but you absolutely have to do when you get a rental car, is check for damages. You don't want to be left with a fine when you drop off your rental car. It's a great way to ruin a vacation. So inspect your car carefully before you drive away. One of our top tips for road trips is to download maps on Google Maps for offline use. You can use them for directions even if you don't have cell service or keep your phone on airplane mode. We survived driving from the airport into Ljubljana, so now let's go explore. Today is Slovenia's National Day, so we're not really sure what's going to be open, but we're excited to check it out.
dog. So cute. Yeah.
Oh, you're good. Look at the dog.
You ready? We're in Prešeren Square, named after the most famous poet of Slovenia.
It's the main square in Ljubljana, and the architecture of this place is incredible. This is a statue of Prešeren being inspired by a muse, and it caused controversy when it was first introduced to the square because the muse is naked, and it's sharing a square with a church.
We're at Moje Strukli, at the most popular Strukli place in Ljubljana, and they have 20 flavors you can try, but we're only going to try 2. Traditional savory flavor and a orange dark chocolate flavor. Let's see how they are.
We got a bottle of kokta, which is a unique pop that you can only find in this region of the world. It was invented in Slovenia in 1953 as a way to have a version of Coke for Yugoslavia, but it doesn't taste like Coke. So let's try it out. That's an interesting smell. It's kind of fruity.
It says herbal on the front, I think, doesn't
yes,
it?
it's herbal, but like there's definitely something herbal about it, but it's also like fruity and stuff. What do you think?
Does it taste at all like Coke?
No.
You know what? It almost tastes like those freezy pops. You know?
Like
the
the
little tubes.
Yeah, like the grape flavor, or like the blue mixed, the blue one.
Yeah, the blue one.
Yeah.
Blue icy pop. That's what it tastes like.
It's not blue though. Do you like it?
Yeah. Okay, I've got the traditional Strukli here. It's a dumpling that's layered and filled with cottage cheese, and it's got a toasted breadcrumb on top. Let's see how it is. Oh man. Very savory, very salty as you'd expect from cottage cheese.
What's it like?
Very soft.
Yeah?
Yeah. Kind of a light crisp from the breadcrumb. It's so good.
I got the dark chocolate and orange Strukli. Same concept as the other one, except this one is a sweet version. So let's give it a try. Wow. Got like fresh orange stuff, a chocolate sauce, and it is very dark chocolatey. So soft, so smooth. I'd pick this one. Now here's something right up my alley, because I love milk. It's a milk vending machine. And not just any milk vending machine, a fresh milk vending machine. So first, you buy your bottle, and then you fill it up. We had a lot of fun walking around Ljubljana. It's a cool city to explore, and it's very walkable with a lot of pedestrian areas. And we'd love to go back for a longer stay because there's so much to see and do.
We're at Klobasarna trying some traditional sausage that they have with horseradish and mustard. Very similar to kielbasa, I'd say. Should I try horseradish?
Yeah. Oh man, that's a lot of horseradish.
It's fairly mild for horseradish.
I'm gonna try it with the mustard. looks good. That's good mustard. That's good sausage. I try this end piece. Oh my gosh. It's got like a thing. It's got that good crunch that you want a sausage to have.
Behind us is the Three Rivers Fountain, created by an Italian designer in the Roman style.
It reminds us of the main fountain at Piazza Navona. The triple bridge is 3 bridges convening onto one space. The original bridge is the widest of the 3, and it's directly behind us. And the other 2 were added after the fact.
No warning.
Nope. There was enough room for them to get through. We're wrapping up our time in Ljubljana, and now we're heading to Lake Bled. It was really fun to see this city. It looks like it's off the track, so you can just slide it. Slide it now.
Not sliding.
Don't break the door. Don't break the door, please.
Not trying.
Please. Stop it. Oh my gosh. Don't do what you're doing. Can you stop? Stop that.
What?
You're gonna break it. You're seriously terrifying me. How is it not? Can you close it? Just close it. Put it away. Just.
Stupid door.
Are we gonna
in the
do
hotel room.
Are we gonna do? It's been a long travel day.
Yep.
I don't know how long we've been traveling, and I'm not going to add up the hours, but I'm glad it's over. We made it to Lake Bled, and we can finally relax. We had 2 flights, one from Minneapolis to Paris, and then Paris to Ljubljana, and I don't recommend having a very short layover in Paris. We had to run through the terminal to get to our next gate. It was awful.
Lucky for us, our next flight was a little delayed as well.
Yep.
So that helped.
That helped. But no, I'm gonna try never again to do that. Also, we got our rental car. Very excited to have a rental car. I love the freedom of having a rental car. But our rental car is a brand new car that has 40 kilometers on it. And it's a Mercedes. So I'm a little nervous that something bad is gonna happen. And we had a great time in Ljubljana.
Yep, had some good food. Got the main things we wanted to try, the Strukli and the sausage.
Yeah, that was good stuff.
Very good food.
It was Slovenia's National Day today, so there were a lot of stores closed, a lot of things we couldn't see, a lot of things we couldn't do. We were running a bit late, so I think we found out that we really enjoyed the city and we can't wait to go back. And tomorrow we have big plans to explore Lake Bled, and we're gonna get a good night's rest.
Yeah, we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we're walking around Lake Bled now. Sun's coming up. We'll see how much color we get.
We have the place mostly to ourselves, so it's very tranquil right now. Slovenia is a country about the size of the state of New Jersey, and Lake Bled is the country's top mountain resort area, and it's easy to see why. There's crystal clear blue water, a medieval castle perched on a cliff, a beautiful island in the middle, and gorgeous villas all around. Behind us is Bled Castle, and I'd say that waking up for sunrise was definitely worth it.
Well, I'd definitely say it was worth it to get up this early. We've got the Lake Bled Island behind us.
We also have an incredible view, and there's even a hot air balloon, as ridiculous as that is, so it adds to the incredible charm of this place.
And a great sunrise.
Yeah. Well, that made for a pretty scenic way to start our day. I don't think we were planning to go around the whole lake, but it's very beautiful. It's about a 3.5-mile walk around the lake. And it was good to start early because we had the place to ourselves. For the most part, there were a lot of fishermen though. We're on our way to Vintgar Gorge. We had a little wrench thrown in our plans because there's massive road construction in most of the roads surrounding the gorge and cutting off many of the access points. So we had to park at parking lot 5 and now we have to walk further than we were anticipating to get to the starting point of the gorge.
Let's go.
Vintgar Gorge is beautiful. The gorge itself is about a mile long and has a boardwalk that hugs the rock wall. The trail through the gorge is easy and filled with stunning views. The most impressive part of the hike is the beginning section, when the gorge is narrow. Vintgar Gorge is a magical place, at least so far that we've seen. There's a walking path right inside the gorge, and you're often walking on elevated boardwalks. It's just incredible. I've never seen anything like it.
Very blue water.
It's so clear too, it's crystal clear water. What do you think?
Pretty cool.
Pretty insane. And check out these views. Look at that. It's like walking through an enchanted forest with a million waterfalls and a really nice temperature. There's something about this place that just makes me think of Lord of the Rings. I mean, what do you think? The Vintgar Gorge is a mile long, and it's carved out by the Radovna River. It starts out with dramatic boardwalks on the edge of the gorge, going through a very narrow and scenic portion of the gorge, and then it flattens out to a more comfortable walking trail along a wide, broad river that you see behind us.
At the end of the gorge, there's a little snack stand with WCs, making it a good place for a pit stop. Once you reach the snack stand, you can't backtrack, so in order to get back to your car, you have two options. If you go left, you'll have a 3-kilometer hike along a road, or if you go right, you'll have a 3.5-kilometer hike, but it'll be through a field.
Vintgar Gorge used to be there and back stop, but now it's a one-way because of COVID, and once you finish, you have to choose between two different hikes. We're taking the hike that goes past St. Catherine's.
It's gonna add a lot of time to our day. We knew that going into it, and even though COVID restrictions in this country have been lifted, it seems like this change is pretty permanent, at least for this year and the foreseeable future.
So we just reached St. Catherine's and we have about an hour left in the hike, but we stopped at a little cantina on the way to get some lemonade and iced tea, and we are trying the famous Bled Cream Cake, or Kremsnita. It's got a custard cream and a pastry top. That's refreshing.
This is the Church of St. Catherine. Pretty small, very picturesque. It's a great stopping point, and there's a great viewpoint overlooking the valley below. We're about to hike back to the car. We expect it's going to take maybe another hour to get there, but we have this great view right over here of Bled Castle. The one thing this path lacks, shade. We are just very exposed. It's very hot, it's very humid, but we're glad it's a little breeze. Hopefully we get some shade pretty soon though. Well, so far, no shade, but the view is pretty good. I say right as we get to some shade. Mostly no shade. I'd say 98% no shade, but the view's pretty good. What do you think? We're at the Park Hotel at Lake Bled, and we've got another Kremsnita here. This is the original Kremsnita. So let's dig in and see how it tastes. Uh-oh. I guess I'm just gonna go for it. Okay, wow. So the topping is much more crispy than the last one. Oh man. That's very good. Creamy, light, fluffy, crunchy, sweet. This is wonderful.
No motorized boats are allowed on Lake Bled, making it particularly peaceful. This lake is also used as a training center for Olympic rowers who can often be found training on the lake. Since there are no motorized boats allowed on Lake Bled, if you want to get to the island in the middle, you have 4 options. You can swim, you can rent a paddleboard or a rowboat, or you can take a flat-bottomed Plecnik.
Plecnik boats are 7 meters long, 2 meters wide, wooden flat-bottomed boat.
And they're steered by a standing rower.
And it takes about 25 minutes to row from the far side of Lake Bled to the island.
The tradition of using Plecnik boats dates back to at least the mid-1600s when the Habsburg Empress Maria Theresa granted families from a nearby village special permission to ferry visitors to the island. This family tradition eventually evolved into a modern union of sorts which continues to this day. Each boat is still family owned, and the tradition is passed down from generation to generation.
We just took a Plecnik to the Bled Island, and now we're about to walk up some stairs, 99 of them to be exact.
Just what we wanted after a 3-hour hike.
Yeah. We made it up the 99 stairs.
It's a tradition if you get married on the island for the groom to carry his bride up the 99 steps.
You want to try that next time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
About 4 out of 5 grooms are successful in carrying their brides up the steps of Bled Island, showing they're fit for marriage.
The best activities to do on Bled Island are climb the 99 stairs, get the best gelato in Lake Bled, souvenir shop with only locally made goods, and go into the church on the island. You get to ring the wishing bell, so that's pretty cool.
But it costs an extra 12 euros to do that. So.
Per person. So you gotta choose if you want money or wishes.
I got salty peanuts and caramel and a pistachio gelato.
How is it?
Very good. Very creamy.
We had 50 minutes to explore Bled Island, which ended up being plenty of time.
Just want to say the water here really is that blue. It's just insane here.
So we found a place for dinner, and we're starting off with some prosciutto with olives and some cottage cheese spread. For the main course, I got some stuffed squid. Let's see how it is.
Never had squid. Oh wow. It's very good, but the texture is like squiddy. I'd eat that again. But I'd have to get used to the squid texture first. But otherwise, that was incredible. Creamy, prosciutto-y, cheesy, very good. So I got the mixed grill, which has a lot of meat. We have a kielbasa sort of sausage, grilled chicken, and cevapi with grilled vegetables, potatoes, these look incredible, and eggplant and mustard. That's very good.
Well, we made it up to Bled Castle for our last stop of the day.
It's got a pretty magnificent view of the lake, and we're here after the castle is closed. It closed at 8. It's around 8:30 right now. So we didn't have to pay for parking, and we didn't have to pay to enter the castle grounds. So we saved a little money, but we also don't get to go inside, so it's kind of a bummer.
But we got a great view.
Yeah, the view is incredible.
Bled Castle was built around 1,000 years ago. In the Middle Ages, it was the seat of power for the Austrian bishops of Brixen. These days, it's an incredibly popular place to visit for sweeping views over Lake Bled, as well as some interesting historical exhibits. We actually tried to visit Bled Castle in the afternoon after our hike through Vintgar Gorge, but parking was full from the top all the way down to the bottom of the hill, so we decided to return later in the day.
There are several ways you can get to Bled Castle. You can hike up, which is free, but
A lot of work.
you can drive up, which isn't free, but affordable at 3 euros. You can take a taxi, or you can take a bus. So you have options. Do you want to start?
Yeah, so well, it's been another good day. We had a lot of fun at Vintgar Gorge. It was very beautiful. Though there were so many waterfalls, I was definitely very surprised by that.
The boardwalk was incredible. It felt like walking through an elven land, I think.
Yeah.
Very magical and mystical, and the mist from the river flowing up. It was very nice.
Yeah, Gorge was beautiful. The hike to get back to the car, not so much.
Yeah.
Well, beautiful, yes.
Beautiful.
Tiring, no.
Yeah, very beautiful hike, but exhausting, and there's no
Sun.
no shade.
Back at Lake Bled, we did a Plecnik boat tour out to the island.
Yeah, that was incredible.
Yeah.
So worth the price. It was 15 euros per person, and that included the boat trip there and back, and 50 minutes on the island. And we learned a lot from our
the boat owner.
The boat owner, yeah. He talked a lot about Slovenia and Slovenian culture, so highly recommend the trip.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we had a really good dinner.
Oh, the dinner was absolutely, and our waiter was awesome, so friendly.
Yeah.
Very good food.
First time eating stuffed squid, didn't know I would like it, but
I thought you'd like it. I had a hunch.
Yeah. Tomorrow we're heading into the Julian Alps.
I get to drive some switchback roads, so I'm very excited for that. I love mountain roads. Good morning, friends. We're leaving Lake Bled and we're heading to the Julian Alps today. First stop, Olympic ski jumping facilities. It's about 30 minutes detour from our Julian Alps route. So let's get started.
We had a long day of driving ahead of us, so we got an early start to the day with an easy 45-minute drive from Lake Bled to the ski jumps at Plecnik. The first ski jump here was constructed before 1930, so there's a long history of ski jumping in Slovenia. World records are constantly being set on these hills.
We're at the ski jumps at Plecnik. This is where the ski flying world championships are held every few years. They have 8 jumps here,
Ranging in size from very small behind us to pretty large over here, championship level, for beginners through very advanced.
They also have the world's largest ski jump, which
Yeah.
you can't really see from here.
We'll see that one next. Behind me is the world's largest ski jumping hill, and it probably doesn't come across it on camera, but it is so much bigger than the ones that we saw over on the other side. It's incredible. This is also where you can do zip line if you want to feel like you're jumping from this hill as well.
The zip line here has the honor of being the steepest zip line descent in the world with an average incline of 38 degrees. To help put it into perspective, the hill size of the largest hill is 240 meters and the next largest hill is 138 meters, so the largest hill is over 100 meters bigger. With more time, we would have stuck around and explored a bit longer, but we got back on the road and headed towards Strukli National Park and the 50 hairpin turns of the Vintgar Pass.
The Vintgar Pass was built by Russian POWs during World War I in order to supply the Socha front.
Many of the POWs died in this process, and on March 8, 1916, an avalanche occurred that killed hundreds more.
This is the Russian chapel that was built to memorialize the deaths of the POWs. To access this chapel, there's a parking pull-off at turn 8. So you pull off and then you can hike up.
This route is really popular with motorcyclists and bicyclists, and a very good bicyclist can actually do this in 30 minutes, which is faster than a car. So you better watch out and share the road.
One thing we've noticed while driving this road is that all of the hairpin turns are cobblestone.
It turns out the cobblestones are there for a very good reason, to give better traction on the turns. There are a lot of areas to pull off and enjoy the scenery or go for a hike along the Versich Pass, so don't rush to the top. Take your time and enjoy the views along the way. Don't take this road too quickly because you might have to share it with some fluffy friends like we did.
We made it to the top of the Versich Pass. We just drove 24 hairpin turns and we have 26 to go to reach the bottom.
Yay!
Once you get to the top, don't rush to go back down. Spend some time exploring the area. There's a large parking area and it's a great starting point for many hikes. There's also a small hut that sells snacks with incredible mountain views.
We just finished driving the 50 hairpin turns of the Socha Pass, and now we're driving along the Socha River, and we're on a suspension bridge over the river.
The area of the Socha River Valley from here to the Adriatic saw heavy fighting during World War I as part of the Socha Front, and there are prominent reminders of the war scattered throughout the Julian Alps. From roads, bridges, and tunnels built during the war, to artifacts and debris, and even large cemeteries scattered throughout the region, World War I left an indelible mark on this beautiful land. The Church of St. Joseph has a lot of interesting symbolism inside. The interior of the church is painted in red, white, and blue, the national colors of Yugoslavia. It was a sign of nationalism that was dangerous to display during that time period. The ceiling of the church is painted with Saint Michael clad in Yugoslavia's colors and shows the three enemies of Yugoslavia from World War II. The eagle represents Germany, the wolf represents Italy, and the serpent represents Japan. The medallions hanging on the walls depict the Stations of the Cross and show some of Yugoslavia's biggest enemies, including Mussolini on one medallion and Hitler wearing lederhosen on another.
We're at the Church of St. Joseph in the Socha Valley, and we're in the cemetery. Behind me, right here, you can see this particular grave site is dedicated to those who fought in the partisan army during World War II against Hitler and the Nazis. Up here on the hill is a cemetery for the Austro-Hungarian soldiers that died during World War I. There's about 1,400 buried here. We're at the Great Socha Gorge, standing on a very bouncy suspension bridge. What do you think about the suspension bridge?
It's very bouncy and high up.
Okay, how does it make you feel?
Not great. Check it out though. Some people even jump off the cliffs into the water, but I'm sure it's not here because it is not deep enough.
In 1918, a young Ernest Hemingway drove ambulances for the Red Cross along the Italian front and was stationed not far from the Socha River Valley.
How do you like this road?
It's very tight. There's like...
Of course you're bringing us up here as you're saying that I should learn to drive.
Well,
As I
okay.
have to go backwards through this town.
I think you can learn to drive after we descend whatever we're going to see. We're at the Italian Mausoleum in Coberide. This mausoleum was built in 1938 when this area was still part of Italy and ruled by Mussolini. This mausoleum holds the remains of over 7,000 Italian troops from World War I. Their names are listed alphabetically. It has their rank too. Soldato, Sergente, Solotenente, Corporale, Capitano.
The drive up here was very tight and required driving through a very tight town as well, but it was well worth it. Now we're leaving the Socha Valley and heading to Croatia.
Woohoo! We're at a local product market in Coberide, Slovenia, and everything they sell here is made locally, as the name suggests. There is so much to choose from. Let's go see what they have. The dairy aisle.
Let's get some milk. Honey is very popular in Slovenia, and they have a large production. This one looks good.
See anything you like?
A lot.
A lot. What did you find?
You can fill up your own wine bottle.
Wine on tap. We're in the chip aisle. That can only mean one thing. It's time for another episode of Chips and Trips. Let's pick something out.
With a selection of snacks and souvenirs picked out, we headed back on the road.
I was expecting the river to be like more
gushing.
gushing. That's a word. I was thinking watery, but like
More watery.
It's already water. Oh, cute goats! Look at them.
Yeah.
They're just like on. They are so funny.
We enjoyed the very scenic drive along the Socha River and made a couple pit stops along the way to stretch our legs and marvel at some pretty picturesque bridges. On the way to our second bridge, we took a wrong turn and ended up in Italy. With open borders between EU countries, that's a very easy thing to accidentally do.
We're in Solkan, and behind us is the world's largest stone arch bridge. How cool is that?
Wow.
Wow.
Solkan Most is the world's largest single-span stone arch railroad bridge. It has a span of 85 meters and was originally built in 1904. It was destroyed by the Austrian army during World War I and was rebuilt by the Italians in 1925. The bridge also survived World War II when a bomb hit the bridge in 1945 but did not explode. This was our last stop in Slovenia. We had a lot of fun exploring this country and we can't wait to come back and experience more in the future. But right now, we're heading to Croatia. See you in the next one.
Thank you.